Hello YouTube, welcome to another one of my Duel Links videos, and today I have for you a Necrovalley pure Gravekeeper deck. Now unfortunately Necrovalley was one of those cards that we were really hyped for, but I think it arrived a little too late unless or Gravekeeper support gets better. What we currently have, it's not going to be able to compete with the meta. The meta is way too fast at the moment, and even though Gravekeepers would fall into the anti-meta category because of how Necrovalley locks you down, I don't think it's enough, because it's really easy to remove Necrovalley off the field. So yeah, but it was a fun deck. I'm running Bandit as my skill because anytime I don't have back row removal in the main deck, I like to run Bandit as my skill so that I can just steal a back row that's problematic, or a back row that's in my way, and try to go for lethal. But for the monster lineup, we are running Gravekeepers recruited at 3, which is the main engine. We have 2 Gravekeeper Priestess. She is a 2200 wall with Necrovalley, which is pretty significant. I also run 1 Gravekeeper's Assailant. I'm pretty sure 1 is all we can get. But with Necrovalley, it gets a pretty nice effect. It says, when this card declares an attack while Necrovalley is on the field, you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, change that target's battle position. So it's really good to get over really big monsters. The ones that come to mind are Silent Magician level 8 and Silent Swordsman level 7. Really high attack, unaffected by spells, or you can't use spells, but you can at least switch them into defense mode. And keep in mind that Gravekeeper Priestess also counts as Necrovalley while it's face up on the field, if there's no field spell on the field. So you can use a Assailant's effect if you have a Priestess on the board. For the bosses, we have 1 Gravekeeper's Chief, 1 Gravekeeper's Visionary, and 1 Gravekeeper's Oracle. I'm only running 1 of each because I'm running 1 Gravekeeper's Steel, sure, which lets me recycle them from the graveyard if needed. Really important to note that this effect cannot be negated by the effect of Necrovalley. So even though you're moving cards from a graveyard, you're still able to use the Gravekeeper's Steel. Unlike Gravekeeper's Chief though, the effect to special summon a monster from the graveyard will be affected by Necrovalley. So I was actually replacing Chief with Jinso in earlier test, just because I was running into a lot of stall decks and I wanted an answer to all traps. So I put in a Jinso, but decided to keep it pure at the end, and, just keep the Gravekeeper theme. Even though I can splash the Jinso anywhere, because that's my boy, and it doesn't really change the deck. But now into the spicy stuff. We have the Mice of the Land. It says, activate only when your opponent special summons a monster. Select 1 field spell card from your deck and activate it. So the game is evolving, obviously, and a lot of decks now special summon. Even something as simple as special summoning Echinadia will trigger your Demise of the Land. So it's a really good way to get your field spell. I didn't want to run Planet Finder and stuff like that, so I just went with the Mice of the Land, and it worked out pretty well. Obviously there are times where the card's going to be dead, especially if you already have Necrovalley or if you already used the first one. So to mitigate that a little bit, I'm running 2 Divine Rats. So that way, if I have the card in hand, it's not just dead, I can discard it to negate a monster's effect. We're running 2 Drowning Mirror Force. Sometimes you do brick with your big monsters before you get to your little guys. So having something to protect your life points, like Drowning Mirror Force, is real clutch. Wall Disruption, it's pretty much a staple. You guys know what it does. But let's go ahead and show you guys some replay. I still think the best way to play Gravekeepers is not to go the Necrovalley route and go with Silent Magician instead, but I really wanted to try the Gravekeepers build. I got lucky enough to get 1 Necrovalley, and I was pretty excited, so I didn't want to just sit on my inventory and me not use it for anything. So here we're going up against Sugimoto, and this was a really good matchup. I have the Mice of the Land to start, so pretty good starting hand. We're gonna I'll go ahead and set all of our back row. Galaxy Cyclone is gonna take out our Wall of Disruption. And one thing to know about Galaxy Cyclone is that normally you can destroy a face-up spell and trap by banishing it, but if you have Necrovalley, it cannot banish itself, so your Necrovalley is safe from Galaxy Cyclone. And we're going up against Battery Mans, which they special summon a lot. So right off the bat, the matchup was favorable. He's going to special summon a Battery Man Solar. That's going to trigger my Demise of the Land. Get my Necrovalley on board, and guess what? I do not have to worry about the Battery Boss at all. He cannot summon it because for that he would need to banish monsters, and Necrovalley prevents him from doing that. So at this point, all he has is basically a beatdown deck. He's gonna go Ties That Binds, 1800. It's not enough to get over my Gravekeeper's Recruiter. And here we're gonna see Chief's effect be negated by the Necrovalley. It is effective. Wait, Nani? Okay, this is really strange because... Oh, it says your graveyard is unaffected by Necrovalley. Huh. I swear there was an instance where my Chief effect didn't go through. Why did it not go through? Thinking emoji. Now I'm really confused because after that duel I was like, oh, I guess Chief's effect doesn't go through, and I never even bothered to read the card. It says right there, your graveyard is unaffected by Necrovalley. Anyway, forget what I said. Chief still works, so that's why he's in here instead of Jinso. We're gonna go for damage and destroy one of the Battery Man Solar. He goes for Battery Man Charger, which is actually a threat. It can get pretty beefy once you have more Thunders on the field and plus Ties That Binds. So luckily we have the Divine Wrath for that death, Demise of the Land. And we pretty much win the game there. Well, we don't win the game because there's a Wall of Disruption that I had forgotten about. Battery Man Solar, again, it's just gonna put cards in the grave, but no Battery Boss, so I don't have to worry about anything. They scoop it immediately. I mean, I have Gravekeeper's Oracle, and I'm pretty sure I searched that so they know that I have it. So we get the easy win. I feel dumb now. I'm sure some people didn't even make it to the duel where I proved myself wrong, and I'm gonna have like 5 comments. Chief does work with Necrovalley. I'm sorry, I didn't bother reading the card. What can I say? We got a Bandy's Keith next, and this guy had plenty of chances to beat me, but he chose not to. That is all I can deduce from the movements he was making. Oh wait, I'm sorry. This is not that deck. This is a gross, disgusting 28 card stall deck that was so frustrating to play against. But our Necrovalley is going to summon from the deck, so we get a nice boost to our monsters. But look at all that back row. My man's just hiding behind back row. He's gonna floodgate my Visionary, which is fine. We're gonna destroy the monster. And we're gonna go for the Gravekeeper's Chief. Floodgate it. This is why. This is the duel. So the reason why my Chief's effect doesn't go through is because he gets floodgated. So once he goes face down, the continuous effect that says your graveyard is unaffected by Necrovalley, it's no longer in effect, so my effect doesn't resolve. I knew I wasn't crazy. There you go. That's what happens. Luckily, I still have Steel, so I'm gonna get my Visionary back to the hand. But as you can see, that's 2 floodgates, some tokens. That's all this guy's doing. Snowman Eater. Now we see a Nobleman Eater bug, which is fine because I can just discard a Gravekeeper and keep my Visionary on the field. Baggy Sleeves, more back row. I know some of you are gonna be like, wow, what a genius, but it's just annoying. We're gonna be able to destroy the some tokens, but he summons some more, so he's got a second Wall of D. Now he can kind of stall me out. I cannot destroy the token, and I actually do this on purpose. I attack into this face down because I wanted to damage myself and use my Bandit skill as my back row removal. I couldn't keep up just, you know, running into his back row, obviously. But it's getting pretty thin, so that was my strategy here. We're gonna attack into a Snowman Eater. I'm gonna go ahead and send a monster from the hand to protect Visionary, and that actually kept put me at 100 attack, which means I could destroy the Doomsday token. So that's pretty clutch. But I need to damage myself some more. You have to lose 2,500 life points, I believe. So right here, I suicide. Now I can activate my skill. We're gonna go ahead and negate the Tongue Twister because he'd be able to draw 2 cards and, you know, just get to more back row, and I'm just getting sick of it. So we're gonna Divine Wrath that. Go for Bandit. We steal a Canadia, which is good. Oracle is gonna attempt to destroy the monster. He goes for the Econ take to protect his life and at the same time try to draw 2. But we have our second Divine Wrath on deck. So now he has to hope to top deck like a god. And that was basically the situation I wanted to put him in. Doesn't top deck into anything. We're gonna summon our Recruiter and win the game. Yeah, so this man was running like 9 or 10 tribute monsters. And then just tokens and back row at... I don't know. I think this is the vampire matchup where I don't understand why the guy let me live. And maybe I'm missing something as obvious as the chief being face down and the effect not going through, but you never know. We're learning. You guys learn from this as much as I do. Alright, so life point boost, alpha. We're gonna go ahead and set a Recruiter, set our Demise of the Land. Galaxy Cyclone is going to destroy our Demise of the Land, which is very unfortunate because we do see that it is indeed a vampire matchup. We pick up a second one, which is nice. And I'm going to go ahead and destroy this guy. I'm trying to make him special summon from the grave so I can get my my Demise of the Land. I was really hoping that he was special summon Familiar instead of Retainer though. Retainer is going to be able to search a Vampire Kingdom, and at that point my Necrovalley is dead. If he has the Vampire Grace, or so I thought. But we're still gonna activate Demise of the Land. There we see the Vampire Kingdom, and this man, for whatever reason, chooses to somebody just subscribed. Thank you for subscribing. Chooses to destroy my back row instead. Doesn't go for the Necrovalley, not once, but twice. He lets my Necrovalley intact for a second time, and then just ends up attacking into my my Wall of D. Why? I have no idea. Not only that, he summoned a Canadia, pretty much sealing his fate, and we win the game. Yeah, all he had to do was destroy the Necrovalley and then wait it out. After the Necrovalley was gone, I didn't really have an out for the Vampire Grace. I didn't have any of my boss monsters. All the monsters were weak. He just chose to go for the back row. I don't know. We take those though. Yeah, so unfortunately I couldn't play Shizu with this deck because I don't have any good skills with her. All my skills are Prescience and like draw sense skills. I don't have No Moral Can Resist. I don't have the very popular one that I can't think of right now. But here we're going up against a Psychic deck running Prescience, I think? Is that what that was? I can't see. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and Drowning Mirror Force his monsters. Then we see a Dark Valkyria hit me for 1800. And I was okay taking that hit. Actually, I didn't have anything, so I had to take the hit. Because I wanted to steal a card, and I ended up stealing a Drowning Mirror Force. So we're gonna go ahead and use that to keep ourselves alive because we can't draw into our little guys. Wall Disruption is gonna keep us alive for one more turn, and we finally get a Priestess, which is a 2200 wall. We can sit behind for a little bit. We're going to replace our Priestess with Visionary. Trigger Canadian. And at this point, I have nothing left to do, you know. He could deck me out if he wanted to with all that back row. So we're just going to try to attack. I don't understand this at all. He goes for Destructitron, destroys my Demise of the Land, and then just suicides the Psychic Witch, which in turn is going to kill the Destructotron. Super Rush is not going to help him because my Visionary can be protected by discarding a Gravekeeper. So Gravekeeper Steel is just giving me more fuel to protect my Visionary with. Another Canadia, which is fine. I'm feeling pretty safe, even though my life points are not looking good. Tries to destroy me with a Wind Up Juggler's effect. All I have to do is pay the cost, and then that pretty much seals the win for me. Never mind, there's a Canadia. There's always a Canadia when I think the duel is over. And at this point, they're just walling up. And I have no idea what this was. As soon as I summon a monster, flip into attack again. This almost seems like some sort of AI. I was very puzzled. They attack into my Gravekeeper's Recruiter with 100 life points left. And they lose. But like I said, we take those, especially when we're running unviable decks like that. We have one more replay and then we are out of here. And I hope you guys can appreciate this attempt at a pewter Gravekeeper deck. I might rebuild this. I don't know. I just don't see Planet Pathfinder being better than Demise, but that might be a better route. It just seems like your normal summon is so crucial in the deck already to just spend it on a Planet Pathfinder. You get the Mice of the Land and Gravekeeper's Recruiter. Immediately special summoning a Tricky, and this player makes a crucial mistake here. They don't know what I'm playing, so I don't blame them. But I activate my Demise of the Land. They don't chain their penalty box, and once my Necrovalley resolves, you cannot get your Ultra Athlete Field spell anymore. So they're forced to just go for the attack. Can't get over my my Gravekeeper's Recruiter, and once again they just attack into my monster randomly. I don't understand. Gravekeeper's Recruiter is going to be treated for my Visionary, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the Tricky. I probably should have killed midfielder, but I was hoping he wouldn't top deck like a god. And I didn't want to attack into a penalty box because then that would have been a death sentence with the field, having no back row. Top decks into a Mighty Slugger, which cannot get over me through attack. He needs the penalty box, so that's what's coming, right? Nope. They activated too late. You need to flip this before you actually get to the damage step, because you can't flip it and then activate the effect at the same time. It's kind of like C Stealth Attack. It needs to be active beforehand in order for you to activate the effect to banish a monster. So he suicides and then uses penalty box correctly to banish my Visionary. We're gonna go ahead and set the Drowning Mirror Force. I don't really have an out for a Ultra Athlete monster as long as penalty box is on the field. So they're dumb enough to attack into my Drowning Mirror Force. I'm gonna summon an Assailant and hit him for 2,000. Penalty box is gonna bring my Visionary back, and then that's pretty much the game. Questionable playing from this opponent, but like I said, we take those. And that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoy this. Sorry it's kind of a long video because I was really confused by the whole Gravekeeper's Chief, and I hope the people that are gonna leave comments saying I'm wrong at least made it to the replay and why I had the confusion in the first place. But thank you guys so much for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you want. Join my Discord if you haven't. The link will be down in the description, along with my PayPal link if you guys want to support my channel, support my content. I really appreciate that. And until next time.